In this tutorial, we're going to be creating an image gallery with PHP, and we'll be creating a gallery class that allows us to set the path of our images, go ahead and display the thumbnails for the images that you've stored in a thumbs path, and then go ahead and loop through them and output them like this. And it also gives us the ability to select which types of files that we want to output as well. So from within that directory, we specifically define whether we want, say, a PNG or a JPEG image or something like that. So let's just take a look at how this works. We've got a few images out here. We're going to be running through how to create this design as well. And when we click on these, nothing much happens. It just goes through and opens the image in the browser. But you can, of course, plug in, a Lightbox plugin or something like that. Any JavaScript you want to deal with showing these images. But the images that you see here are actually different to the ones that we click through to. So if we go ahead and inspect this and we open up this is actually a thumbnail, and the one that we click on is actually the main image, the larger image. So that's what the gallery is going to look like. We're going to start with styling this up, and then we're going to go ahead and create the gallery class. Now let's just take a look at how the code works in terms of creating a gallery, defining the path and stuff like that. We've got our general markup here. The first thing that we do is obviously include our gallery class. Then we go ahead and instantiate it. We go ahead and set the path that we want, and then we go ahead and we create a variable called images, which holds an array of images using this getImages method. And then down here we just go ahead and literally loop through and output the gallery items, and we've got the thumbnail here, which is actually displayed in the image source, and then we've got the href attribute, which obviously will click through to that actual image. So this is how it's going to end up looking, but obviously we're going to go ahead and build this class that's going to allow us to do this. So let's go ahead and get started building this gallery. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do here is go ahead and mark up our page. So define the markup that's going to display when a user hits the gallery. Now this just could be integrated as part of your site. The gallery is going to take a width of 100%, so this is going to look good at most sizes. So this can just be plugged into your existing design if you need to. So let's go ahead and just define a basic markup to our page, or the basic markup that we need. So our doc type, our HTML, our head, and our body. And we'll go ahead and give this page a title as well. So we'll give this a title here of image gallery. Okay, so within the body, what we're going to need is a container, and then within that we'll have all of our images, or our actual gallery container. So we'll just create this container. Now this is purely for the purpose of having an almost a fake page container. So this could be anything on your site really. Now within this we want to go ahead and define the gallery. So we'll just call this gallery. So we won't write any more for now. Anything in here is going to be the gallery images. What we do need to do is go ahead and link in a style sheet. So we say link rel. So the relation here is a style sheet. And the location of this is going to be in css/gallery.css. Now this could be just part of your main style sheet. But let's go ahead and create this style sheet in a new folder, CSS as we've seen, and we'll call this gallery.css. Now, let's go ahead and style up the container, and what we'll do is we'll keep an eye on this in our browser. So if we go ahead and create the stars for the container class, we're going to give this a max width of 940 pixels, and you'll see why in a minute, because we'll give this a padding of 10 pixels. What that will do is this will create a container for us of 960 pixels. We're adding padding to the left and right, which is pushing this out. We'll also go ahead and give this a background. We'll just say F0, 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 so like a light grey colour. And then we'll go ahead and say margin 0 auto, which will center this container. Now if we go ahead and refresh, you can see that we've got a centered container. If we inspect this, that's 960 pixels because the box model of the paddings pushed this out, and we've not got anything in it at the moment, which is obvious because we haven't created much more in here. So in terms of the actual gallery itself, well, we want this to be 100% of the container. So we'll just say 100% width. And that's pretty much all we need to do. Now the next thing we need to do is go ahead and define how gallery items are going to actually display. So we're going to create another div inside of here, and this is going to be what we're actually going to loop. And this is going to be gallery item. So in here is going to be an image, and that image is going to be something. Now I've already got a images folder here with lots of images in. So if we were just to go ahead and copy this URL, and we'll say we want this to be gallery, images, thumbs, and this dot p. I think they're JPEGs. Let's just go ahead and check. Yeah, they're JPEGs. So this now should show us a large image, or at least the thumbnail size here of our image. So let's just take a look at this directory structure again. We've got this gallery folder here in our root directory. This is where our gallery class is going to sit. Now in images, we've got all of the large size images. So these are all the full size images that we have. At the moment, they're just what my camera has called it. But if we look in thumbs, I've got an exact sort of same naming system for all of the images, except these images are a lot smaller. So if you go ahead and have your main images and then go ahead and reduce the images to thumbnails and then place them in this directory called thumbs. So that's how our directory looks. So, you know, make sure you set up your images. Okay, so what we're now going to do is go ahead and take a look at styling this gallery item that we've got here. So we're going to go ahead and head over to our style sheet, and we're going to say gallery item. Okay, so these are going to float left, and we're going to give these a width of 19%, and we're going to give these a margin of 1% and padding of 2%. So they basically will scale nicely. So let's go ahead and just say, for now, float left, and then we'll take a look at the problem that we face here. Now take a look at what happens here. Pay attention to the background. You'll see that that flips up, and the reason being is that we're floating this left and there's no clear on this. So what we need to do is we need to create a clear fix class, which is going to clear any floats on our main gallery container. So what we're going to do, and this is useful for other things as well. I mean, you can just clear your gallery, but this is a good cross-browser solution. So we're going to call this CF or clear fix, whichever you prefer, and we're going to use the pseudo element before and the pseudo element after. So .cf after, and this is going to say content, and we're just going to say space, and we're going to say display table. And this is just simply a hacky way of implementing clearfix cross-browser, and we're going to create another one, CF after, which is going to say clear both. So this basically is saying this pseudo element here will clear all elements, so or clear all floats rather. So in the gallery, we can go ahead and apply this clearfix to this. So now that's fixed that problem. We can float as many elements as we want inside of here, and this container will take all of the elements as normal. So let's crack on with the gallery item then. We want to make this look a bit nicer. At the moment it is just an image. So let's go ahead and give this a background. And you'll notice that that's not really done much, except you can just about see the white part down here. We obviously want to go ahead and give this a width, and then go ahead and give it some padding as well, so we can see the nice white container. So I'm going to put a width of 19%, and then a margin of 1%. So let's check out what that looks like first of all. So nothing really much has happened here, but what we can go ahead and do is give a padding of 2%. So you can now see that we've defined the width of this item. The image is sticking out, so we need to make some adjustments to the styles on this actual image. We need to give this a width of 100% so it fits within this container. But at the moment we've got enough room here for there to be 4 images. So basically, if we look at the width of this, this is going to be exactly the right amount with a 19% width, add a 1% margin and 2% padding will allow for 4 of these. So let's go ahead and just quickly style, as we mentioned, the image within the gallery item, and that's going to be a width of 100%. So that now looks like this. So we've now got this nicely contained within here. And just to finish things off, we're going to go ahead and give the padding at the bottom a larger value. And this is going to be 5%. And we're also going to go ahead and give this a box shadow. So let's just take a look at what that's done. That's giving it, it's almost like a, you know, a Polaroid effect on this as a sort of a printed out picture or photo. So let's go ahead and give this some box shadow to make it look like it's a little bit more 3D and sort of sitting on this surface. So the values here are the X and Y offset. So this will just put a shadow to the just to the left hand side and just to the bottom. A 3 pixel blur or spread, and then we're going to give this an RGBA value, which is RGB channel, and then an alpha channel as well. And I'm going to set this to black and then 0.2 for the alpha. So this will give this a sort of an opacity to make it look a bit nicer. So you can change the offset or the blur or the spread to suit your needs, but for now this looks absolutely fine. So what about having more than one of these? So let's go ahead and just do a fake sort of loop here. So we'll go ahead and open and close some PHP tags, and here we'll just say for, and we'll say for x equals 1, while x is less than or equal to, I don't know, let's put 10 on here, x plus plus, and then let's down here go ahead and just end this for. And that's it. So now what we've got is a loop of 10. Oops, so just, there we go. So just add a $sign on there. And there we go. So we've now got 10 images in our gallery. So we know now that the float's working. Obviously we've got a clear fix on here, so the container has you know, increased in height to how many elements are on the page or within this container, and it looks fine. So now that we've done the styling, we can move on to actually creating the gallery class.